Agreed. It can be tricky. I wanted to circle back. There's a couple comments in the chat, and you had mentioned it was a big number. 75% of the time, it's not in their house; it's somewhere else. And they had a question about mold, like on a boat. Do you guys help with that too? Like if it's not in the home, do you keep investigating and sort of try to help them figure it out?
Absolutely.
Carrie, if you want to unmute and ask your boat question, feel free.
Yeah.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Safe. Thanks so much for doing this. Speaking of environmental exposure, so I was thinking of people with boats. Some people come and stay. I live at the beach. You go down for the weekend, you stay on your boat for the weekend, but it's been winterized. It was winterized, you clean it up, and we use bleach, and because it got moldy from being wrapped for 5 months and the moisture got trapped in. So then what do you do? I see tons of people cleaning their boats right now. What are you supposed to use? How do you do that?
Yeah, you use an antimicrobial. We use, it depends on the circumstances. So in a boat, you've kind of got a small isolated area, which is great, right? So, where would mold grow in a boat? You got wood, you've got framing, you've got sweat or heat or sweat around the windows, the carpeting, these areas, depending on if it's a wood or fiberglass or whatever it might be. Seating. But we do that investigation as well. But if you just want to clean it, we can send you guys some products to use that are safe, that will work for sure.
That would be great.
Yeah. And then one of the issues is, even when we do a basement or a small isolated, and we isolate every area that we work in, you can't just remove the mold. You have to remove the remaining spores, whether it's air filtration. And listen, we use negative air and negative pressure. If you have a small bedroom or something, and if you put a fan in your window blowing out, it's negative pressure. So if you clean the room, you put a fan with an exhaust in your bedroom or on your boat, if you can isolate it, and an exhaust fan, spray it. You can buy now anywhere those little, with electrostatic sprayers they got.
Yeah.
Fill that up. Go buy an electrostatic sprayer. They're inexpensive. Fill it up with a good, safe antimicrobial. Spray everything in the boat while it's closed up. Wipe down the surfaces. Put a little fan in the window that'll exhaust it and create negative air, and you're done.
Does the same thing apply for like say life jackets? There's all the toys on the boat for the winter, and now it has those black spots everywhere. That's
cladosporium. That's what that is. And it's created on plastics and those types of materials from humidity and usually condensation, like sweat, that kind of thing. Just wash them. Just wash them. Just wash them with. Yeah, you could use, antimicrobial for me on a boat is more carpet and surfaces, small items. You could just wash them because it's once they have a little stain on them, that stain is never really going to come out. If it's cladosporium, it stains kind of forever. The other molds that you'll find on a boat will be that plus maybe aspergillus. It's green or white or gray looking, and you can primarily wipe it off. It's a surface growth. But once those items get stained black, usually they're always going to be stained black.
Thank you so much.
What about peroxide? I'd heard peroxide is a spray.
So the technology
why we got this contract,
government HUD contract in the first place, was proof of concept of a product that was based on H2O2 and plant-based antimicrobials. And the government had created it. Its capability was to be able to open a spore cell wall, and it renders spores negligible. So hydrogen peroxide is a very good product to use, even just for doing some cleaning, of items around your home. You don't want to add too much water to it because, again, with bleach, you still have the problems with water. So, the other things you can use, believe it or not, is just like Dawn dishwashing detergent. Just, again, don't use too much water. It's a cleaning issue is really what it is. There's some things that stain so deeply from mold that they just have to be thrown away.
Dr. Fitzgerald was asking about thymol.
Thymol. So thyme oil. Thyme oil is made from thyme oil, is my understanding. So we use thyme oil-based products in our remediation process as well.
Benefect.
We use Benefect. We use another product called RMR. There's other, such as Thymol, different brand names.
Plant-based antimicrobials. Right. So for those products we use primarily for cleaning, right? Those types of products. We micromist with those, but because they don't have a hydrogen peroxide, when we micromist with those, they just fall to surfaces immediately. So they fall, we wipe. When we micromist hydrogen peroxide solution, it hangs in the air for like 8 hours. So it's killing in the air, which is a benefit to us. So we mix a kind of a plant-based antimicrobial and a hydrogen peroxide solution. It's a 2-part formula that Nancy said earlier that pokes holes in the cell armor and can kill anthrax and say all these types of things. We use that in heavily kind of infested areas, right? So that we can get everything in the air on surfaces and all that removed. And then we'll run air filtration and kind of drag everything out, HEPA filtration. So, and then we use HOCI, which is hydrochloric acid, and it works fantastic. It's salt, water, and electricity. That's all it is. We buy that from one company, the guy who figured out how to stabilize it. So level 1 we do COVID cleaning, we use hydrochloric acid. Sometimes we'll use that plant-based antimicrobial. And then the top level would be, that hydrogen peroxide solution. We use that in basements to scrub joist and decking because it works a little better. And then we use a stain remover sometimes just because people want it to look nice. So
hence the reason why we have to get eyes on every single project that we do. You have to be able to visually assess everything.
Yeah. And you know that.
To write the right treatment plan.
Right.
You guys have any other questions? Sure.
Yeah, there was one other question in the chat about, when should people who are cleaning wear the respirator and N95 mask, while they're doing the cleanup?
Depends on what you're cleaning. So I would say you would wear an N95 basically for anything you're doing that there might even be mold. Okay. If there's existing visual fungal growth that you can see, you should wear full face or have a professional do it. Right. So a lot of times it depends on where are you seeing the mold, right? Is it on something that's removable, like drywall or flooring that you could pretty much take and put in a bag, right, and get rid of? Is it on wood or more fibrous material where it needs to be scrubbed and cleaned, right? Or is it on the boat scenario, contents, furniture, bedding, that kind of stuff. So a lot of it depends. In all those scenarios, if there's visible mold, you should wear full face, in my opinion, especially people that could potentially be sick from it. But an N95 just to wipe and clean, I think is probably okay. Mold grows in dust, right? So sometimes when you're dusting, you're moving some mold around.
If you have a susceptibility to mold exposure, you can't be too cautious.
And you should call.
In my opinion, if you're trying to even just clean your home and you have a sensitivity to mold, because mold does grow on dust, you should wear an N95 mask. You should wear gloves even. Yeah. Maybe goggles too. Yeah. I mean, you have a susceptibility to
if you have that, there's no question, you should wear it for sure. But yeah, I mean, no matter what the circumstance, but I always say, call a professional, because even if it's on a small amount of drywall or something and you remove that and put it in a bag and and toss it out, unless you really know the cause and that's the only spot, you need to call somebody to make sure.
If that's the only spot.